This time, it's the right one. Trust me. Okay, if you've been in business for a while or you make use of the internet to sell your product or service, most especially if you have a website that serves as a portfolio for the display of a product or service, then you must have heard a billion and one times that you need SEO in order to boost or increase the amount of traffic coming to your website. If that's true, then, are you willing to know what SEO is? If yes, then stick with me to the end of this video because I'm going to be talking about what SEO is, its benefits, and the simple tips you can start implementing today in order for you to get the right amount of traffic and be ahead of your competitors. Hi, my name is Mohib Sulaiman. I am a template-based web designer and the co-founder of Core Marketer NG, a digital marketing agency that profile and provides marketing solutions to businesses in Nigeria. For us to have an in-depth understanding of what SEO is, we need to go way back to how it all started, from the beginning of the internet to the origin and the importance of search engines. Don't worry, it's going to be a quick one. The 1st of January 1983 is considered to be the beginning of the internet, the time when the Standard Communication Protocol was created. This protocol, also known as the IP address system, enabled computers to communicate remotely without a cable that connects them together. The internet was initially created to help government agencies share, search, and distribute information without necessarily getting interfered by a third party. I wouldn't want to go deep into the history of the origin or the reasons why it was created. The keynote here is that the purpose of the internet is to create, distribute, and find information. In order to make the search for information easy, then search engines came to play. In the early 1990s, we had the first search engine, which was popularly known as AliWeb. The primary function of AliWeb was to help searchers search for information on the internet. Between 1990 and 1998, there were a series of search engines that existed, but they all failed to put into consideration some important things that Google, the #1 search engine in the world, puts into consideration now. And I must say at this moment that I'm going to be referencing Google not just because they are the biggest search engine, but over the past couple of years, they have developed into a company that focuses more on searcher satisfaction and providing users with the most relevant results that matches searcher's query. Speaking of intent, have you ever wondered the magic that goes behind how Google and other search engines like Yahoo, Bing, DuckDuckGo display results after you type in a strings of keywords into their search bar? Let me give a quick introduction of how search engines work. A search engine is primarily an internet tool that helps users search for information online. For Google, most especially, and other search engines to be able to produce the results they display on their SERPs. SERPs simply means search engine results pages. Three things need to be done, and these three things are important to the results we see on their results pages. Number one is crawling. Number two, indexing. Number three is ranking. Crawling. Google makes use of an internet tool which is also known as a bot or a robot or a spider or a crawler The primary function of this crawler or this bot is to go through the internet from one link to another, from one web link to another in search for new websites and new content that can be saved in the index. Indexing is the second part of the process. An index is a gigantic but organized list of results, content, and web pages found by the bot. The search engine uses the index as a source of the information it displays on the result pages. I must note quickly here that not every web page or content found by the bot actually makes it into the index. For more information on how search engines work, stick with me, hit the subscription button, hit the like button so that you get notified whenever I drop relevant information. Number 3 is ranking, and this is exactly where SEO comes into play. With that being said, the last but not the least is ranking. Ranking is a way of measuring the importance of web pages in relevance to search phrases. This has to do more with the factors that search engines like Google consider while matching a searcher's query with the results they display. Even though the process that goes into what search engines do specifically to determine what page or content is displayed and in what order they display them is top secret. Google continually updates web content publishers and developers with the best practice and principles that enables web pages to get more impression in search. There are over 200 factors that is considered by Google when ranking a web page or a content on their result pages, and this will bring us to the subject matter. What exactly is SEO? SEO simply stands for search engine optimization. In its most basic term, SEO is the practice of making a website get found and get ranked on search engine results pages for some particular keywords or key phrases. The process of implementing search engine optimization is primarily divided into two. We have the on-page SEO and the off-page SEO. Without wasting much of your time, let me give a brief explanation of what on-page and off-page SEO is. On-page SEO involves the alignment of a page-specific element, like the title tags, the headings, the content, the length of the content, the relevance of the content to the search query, the amount of time a user spends on a page, which is the user experience, the site speed, and the freshness of the content. There are more elements that goes into on-page SEO, but this video is accompanied with a blog post that talks more about those elements. If you wish, you can click the link. Off-page SEO, on the other hand, refers to all the measures that can be taken outside the website in order to improve the position of a website or web page in search ranking. These measures may include, but not limited to, the amount of quality backlinks or incoming links from other authoritative websites, social shares, and domain rating. Just a quick recap of what I just said. SEO, or search engine optimization, is the practice of making a website or a web page get found and ranked on search engine result pages for some certain keywords or key phrases typed in the search bar. The process of implementing search engine optimization is primarily divided into two. We have the on-page SEO and the off-page SEO. On-page SEO involves the alignment of a specific website or a web page, like its title tag, the meta tag, the content of the structure, the internal links of the website, the content of the website, the freshness of the content of the website, and user experience, in order to enable people searching for that content find it on search engine result pages. While off-page on the other hand refers to all the strategies that is implemented outside the website in order to increase its visibility and ranking on search engine. So, why exactly is search engine optimization important? Research shows that users using the web searching for a product, service, or general information are more likely to click on the top 5 results that is found on the page. SEO helps you rank higher in search results and gives you the online visibility, giving you the opportunity of winning the web traffic or the visitor and converting these into customers depending on what is important for your website. Secondly, SEO creates authority and trust in the mind of the searchers because your website ranking for relevant keywords. This shows that your URL, website, or web page has good, helpful, and most likely the best content that answers the searcher's question. Also, SEO traffic or organic traffic that comes from search engine is totally free. In my definition of SEO, I said that SEO is the practice of making a website or a web page rank for some certain keywords, right? Great. Now, one of the most important factors while implementing SEO on a website is doing keyword research. And SEO is basically around keywords because we all know that when we are searching for a product, service, or anything on the internet, we type in strings of keyword in the search bar, then hit the search button. The process of keyword research helps a content creator, a developer, or a publisher know and determine the kind of keywords that people are searching in search engines in order to find their content. So, keyword or search engine optimization is basically around optimizing a website for the keywords that people are searching for. So when you optimize your website for these specific keywords, your website has the opportunity of ranking higher whenever a searcher uses relevant keywords while searching your content. And besides, it is totally free. Organic traffic from SEO is free and it is not being paid for. A well-optimized website gives you the opportunity to increase the conversion rate of your website visitors while minimizing the need to spend money on ads. Number 5, SEO is measurable. It is quantitative. It is easy to determine what is working and what is not working, and it is also easy to adjust to whatever is necessary to the needs of your business. Okay, was that helpful? If you've received any helpful information so far, put something in the comment section. Let me know this information is helpful because it will encourage me to produce more relevant content. Now, the question is, what are those things you need to implement on your website in order to rank higher for specific and relevant search terms on search engine result pages? Well, I won't be able to go through everything you need to implement, but I am going to be mentioning some of the most important ranking factors that is considered by Google in order to rank a web page or a website. Number 1, which over time has become one of the most important factors that is considered by Google, is security. We live in an internet era where cyber security and cyber criminality has become almost the order of the day. And the last thing Google wants is for scammers to use their tool or their website as the bait in order to catch their victims. The security of a website is key. In fact, Google's last algorithm update specifically mentioned that doesn't have SSL certificates or that are not secured will not make it to the search engine results pages. So number one, security. The second tip that I'll be mentioning is crawlability. For search engines like Google to be able to display your website or a content on their results pages, the website or the web content must first of all be crawlable and indexable. There are several ways to make a website get crawled or get found by the search engine bot. I mentioned it earlier. Number one of those things that you can do is to have an existing website link to your website. I mentioned earlier that Google makes use of a bot or something known as a web spider or a crawler that moves from one internet link, one internet URL to another in search for web content. So one of those ways to get your website found is to have a website, an existing website, link to your website so that whenever the bot or the spider crawls that website, it finds your web link and crawls your web page. The second thing you can do is to submit something known as a sitemap directly to Google using the Google Search Console. I'm going to be making more video on that later in the future. For you to have that video, all you need to do is just click the like button, click the subscription button if you're on YouTube, hit the notification bell so that you get notified whenever I release a new video. I must mention at this point that not every crawled content makes it to the index because there are several factors that goes into whether a page or a website is indexable or not. Number three is user friendliness, which is part of user experience or having a good user interface. Mobile friendliness is a component that is under the user interface because the amount of a good user interface increases the amount of time people spend on a page, but you also need to have a good content that is valuable to the searcher's query, because having a good content and a good user interface or mobile friendly website, mobile friendliness and user interface are two different things, but mobile friendliness can be categorized under a good user experience. The essence of this is that it enables the user to spend more time on your page, which sends signal to Google that the content on the page is helpful to the searcher, which sends signal to Google that the content on the web page is relevant and important and of good quality to the searcher's query. This pass a lot of rank juice to your website or web page, and hence it ranks higher on search engine result pages. In fact, research shows that more than half of the people accessing the internet do so through their mobile device, while only 49% do so with their desktop. Time for some fun fact. I had to write this down because I keep forgetting it in my head. Africa has the largest mobile usage with 70%. Asia came second with 63%, and Europe third with 51%. With this, it has become not just necessary to optimize a web page for mobile friendliness, but imperative to increase conversion. Number 4, page speed or site speed or rendering time. This is a significant ranking factor that contributes to the general user experience on a web page. A recent survey by Correct Marketer NG, our agency, shows that a web page with low or poor page speed tend to have about 80% bounce rate, and the bounce rate is the total number of the amount of time people visit your web page from search results, then leaves without taking a further action. Bounce rate is the total amount of time searchers leave your website or a web page without taking further action. A high bounce rate sends a positive signal to search results that your page or website matches the searcher's query, while a low bounce rate sends a negative signal to search results that your web page or website doesn't have the necessary information that answers the searcher's query. Number 5, which is the last one I'm going to be mentioning in this video, is writing for humans. It is a general knowledge by web content publishers that the content on your website must be readable and understandable for a fifth grader. It is very, very common for people to want to express themselves in the most authoritative way, and this includes the usage of grammatical structure or words that makes things complex at times. Writing a content that is readable and understandable easily is a very, very important ranking factor. Other ranking factors include a high quality content, optimized content not just for users but for search engines. The amount of time a keyword shows in a particular content sends signal, but the amount of time it shows must be proportionately relevant to where and how it is used, because keyword stuffing is an important negative signal for SEO. When you stuff your website with keywords and this keyword does not necessarily have any importance or need to the content or the general content of the website or the web page, it sends a negative signal to search engines. Targeting the right keywords. I mentioned this earlier that SEO is all about optimizing for keywords. It is very, very easy for website creators or SEO specialists or SEOists generally to target the wrong keyword. That is why the most important element in implementing search engine optimization is determining your keywords, and not just your keywords but the right keywords that you want to optimize for, because it is when you optimize for the right keywords that people find you on the results pages using the keywords that you have optimized for. The keywords you're optimizing for must be in tone and in line with the keyword the searchers are searching for. This is a multi-million-dollar answer. But it goes deep than that. Also, quality backlinks. Having backlinks or having a website, having a web page that is of higher authority or relevant to your niche, linking back to website is a very, very good SEO ranking factor. There's going to be more videos on all of these factors that I mentioned. All you have to do to get it found is click the like buttons, click the subscription button, and turn on the notification bell so that you get notified. And the last factor that I'm going to be mentioning is domain age and authority. Domain authority. There are a lot of things people do not know about the history of their domain, and the history of a domain sums up to the domain's authority, A domain with bad reputation would definitely have a hard time ranking on Google or search engines generally. This is why it is important, very, very important, to search for the history of a domain before you purchase it. Very, very important. With this, we have come to the end of this video. I wish I can continue talking about importance of SEO and things you can implement in order for you to get ranked and get ahead of your competitors. I'm super excited doing this, being my first online video. If you find the information in this video helpful in any way, please do not forget to like and share. And if you're on YouTube, click the subscription button and hit the notification bell so that you get notified whenever I drop a new video. Also, you can hop onto my website at www.koreanmarketer.com. Turn on the notification bell in order for you to get notified whenever I release a new blog post. At this point, I'll be signing out. Peace.